catch and release. The Fly Fisherman. Here is a short story about Rowan, a fly fisherman who discovers that peace does not come from preventing thoughts from appearing, but from gently catching them, looking at them with love, and releasing them back into the flowing stream. At dawn, Rowan waded into a silver creek that curled between pine-covered hills. Mist hovered over the water, and the rising sun scattered little coins of light across the current. He stood quietly in his waders, holding a slender fishing rod while the creek moved around him without hurry. Rowan had been fishing these waters for years, yet lately he had forgotten how to enjoy them. His mind was crowded with old conversations, future plans, imagined arguments, and judgments about nearly everything. Even while standing in paradise, he was somewhere else. He cast his line. The tiny fly touched the surface, and almost immediately a trout struck. Rowan lifted the rod and felt the line tighten. The fish flashed beneath the water, twisting and pulling as though it carried the strength of the whole river. Rowan began fighting it. He pulled harder. The trout resisted harder. His boots slipped between the stones, his shoulders tightened, and the peaceful creek suddenly felt like a battlefield. Then he remembered the words of an old fisherman named Silas. A fish fights hardest when you fight against it. Keep your hands gentle. Let it move. Stay present. Rowan loosened his grip. The fish was still on the line, but something changed. He stopped trying to overpower it. He followed its movement, allowing it to swim while he remained steady. Gradually, the struggle softened. When Rowan finally brought the trout close, he dipped his hands into the water and lifted it carefully. Its spotted body shimmered like a living jewel. As he looked into its bright eye, a thought rose within him. She should never have spoken to me that way. The thought felt exactly like the fish, hooked, restless, and demanding his attention. For years, Rowan had believed that catching such a thought meant he had to keep it. He would examine it, defend it, repeat it, and carry it home as proof that he had been wronged. His mind had become a crowded basket filled with grievances he no longer needed. But that morning, standing in the creek, he simply observed the thought. He did not condemn it. He did not pretend it was not there. He did not blame himself for catching it. He whispered, "I see you." Then he asked, "Does holding you bring me closer to peace?" The answer was immediate. No. Rowan lowered the trout into the creek and let the water move gently through its gills. When it was ready, the fish slipped from his hands and disappeared in the shining current. The thought went with it. Rowan cast again. Soon another trout struck and another thought surfaced. I should already know what to do with my life. He brought the fish close, looked at the thought honestly, and felt the pressure hidden inside it. He had been trying to force the river of life to follow his personal plan. "I don't know," he said softly. "Show me." He opened his hands and the fish swam free. Another cast brought the thought, "They do not understand me." Another fish, another thought, "I made a terrible mistake." Then came, "Something bad might happen." Each time, Rowan practiced the same gentle movement. Catch it, observe it, do not absorb it, ask for help, release it. He began to see that the creek was like the mind. Thoughts moved through it constantly, some peaceful, some frightened, some angry, some disguised as certainty. He could not keep them from swimming past, but he did not have to build his identity from everything he caught. The purpose was not to empty the creek or control its current. The purpose was to remain present enough to recognize what did not belong in his hands. By midday, Rowan stopped casting. He stood in the water and listened. The creek had never been disturbed by the fish. It had carried every movement without judgment, flowing around stones, branches, and fallen leaves without holding any of them. Everything was welcomed, and everything was allowed to pass. Rowan realized that grace moved the same way. A painful thought did not need correction through struggle. It needed connection. A grievance did not need to be protected. It needed to be brought gently into awareness and released. Forgiveness was not pretending that nothing had appeared. It was recognizing that nothing passing through the mind could change the truth of who he was. A final thought rose quietly. "I must do this perfectly." Rowan laughed. He opened his empty hands above the water. "Catch and release," he said. "Even that one." The thought drifted away like mist beneath the afternoon sun. Rowan stepped onto the bank lighter than when he had entered the creek. He had caught many fish that day, yet carried none of them home. For the first time, he understood that freedom was not found in keeping what he caught, but in trusting the current enough to let it go. Behind him, the creek continued singing, always moving, always giving, and never holding anything against anyone. May we sing, rest, and dance our way home together.